Roman Reigns was watching a television monitor backstage at the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh when Oba Femi's hand was raised as the 25th king of the ring. He didn't clap. He didn't speak. He turned to Jacob Fatu, who had just bowed and joined the Bloodline weeks earlier, and said one sentence that nobody on the production team expected to ever hear out loud. Roman Reigns told Fatu send word. "I need to know what Femi chooses." The most dominant champion in modern WWE history was watching a 20-something-year-old from Nigeria receive a crown, and for the first time in years, Roman Reigns was the one waiting on someone else's decision. That shift is everything. Hit subscribe right now if you're new here. Because the power dynamic in WWE just changed backstage in Riyadh in a way the cameras didn't fully capture. Let's get into it. Roman Reigns spent months reconstructing the Bloodline into something scarier than the original version. He went to Clash in Italy and defeated Jacob Fatu, the most physically imposing man he's ever faced in tribal combat. Fatu acknowledged him immediately after. Then, Jey Uso came home. Jimmy Uso came home. Solo Sikoa was the only missing piece, and Roman was patient enough to leave that door open too. By Night of Champions in Riyadh, Roman Reigns held the World Heavyweight Championship with the most complete version of the Bloodline standing behind him. He had survived every civil war, every betrayal, every attempt to dethrone him. He arrived in Saudi Arabia looking like a man who had finally finished building his empire. Then, Oba Femi put Jey Uso on the mat with the fall from grace, and the entire landscape shifted in 3 seconds. Roman sent Jey to Saudi Arabia with one job: win the King of the Ring, keep that guaranteed title shot inside the family, protect the future of the Bloodline's championship control. Jey had Femi in a sleeper hold deep enough that the ruler's hand came down 3 times. The referee missed every single tap, and when Femi powered out, it was over. Jey failed. And Roman had to watch a man he's never faced in a singles match become the most dangerous person in WWE overnight. Here's what the cameras didn't show you in full. Roman Reigns was noticeably quiet during the Bloodline's backstage segment following Femi's coronation. Jacob Fatu spoke. The Usos were loud and frustrated, Jimmy and Jey both confronting Fatu about why he wasn't at ringside during their matches that weekend. Fatu's answer was cold. He only answers to Roman Reigns. Roman tells him where to go and what to do. But Roman wasn't giving orders in that moment. He was processing. Gunther had just confronted SmackDown GM Nick Aldis in a physical backstage altercation, furious over the Sami Zayn title change. Both men got sent home. Nick Aldis placed on administrative leave pending investigation. Adam Pearce assuming control of both Raw and SmackDown simultaneously. The entire authority structure of WWE was crumbling in one night, and through all of it, Roman Reigns sat in that backstage corridor, knowing that the one man he couldn't control, the one man his family couldn't stop, was sitting in the middle of the Kingdom Arena with a crown on his head, deciding Roman's future for him. That's a version of Roman Reigns WWE has never shown us before. Not powerless, not afraid, but genuinely uncertain. And that uncertainty from the most calculating man in WWE history is terrifying. The night before Raw, Femi had the most powerful card in the game in his hands. King of the Ring. Guaranteed title shot. 2 championships available: Roman Reigns' World Heavyweight title or Sami Zayn's newly won undisputed WWE Championship. He could have waltzed into Minneapolis as the man who finally retired Roman Reigns on the grandest summer stage in professional wrestling. Instead, Brock Lesnar's music hit on Raw. The Beast and Paul Heyman walked into the ring during Femi's coronation celebration, accused him of talking dirt behind his back, hit a low blow and an F5, and walked up that ramp like they owned every second of it. Femi pulled himself off the mat, called Lesnar a bitch directly to his face, and challenged him to one final war at SummerSlam. Lesnar added the condition, Hell in a Cell. Femi said yes before Lesnar even finished the sentence. Then Raw GM Adam Pearce caught Femi backstage and asked him the question every single person watching needed answered. Are you sure you want to do this when you have a championship opportunity waiting? Femi's answer became the most important statement of his entire career. The title is always going to be there. Championships aren't going anywhere. I'll take that whenever I want. Roman Reigns heard those words, and for the first time, the tribal chief exhaled. Here's the part that should concern every Roman Reigns fan on the planet. Roman was relieved that Oba Femi chose Brock Lesnar over him. The most confident, dominant champion in modern WWE history, a man who once told the entire locker room they were beneath him, breathed easier when the most dangerous rising star in the company picked someone else. That tells you exactly how Roman Reigns privately assesses Oba Femi as a threat. Seth Rollins came to Raw that same night and demanded his World Heavyweight Championship match at SummerSlam. Rollins, who has beaten Roman at WrestleMania 41, who helped dethrone him at WrestleMania 40, whose single-digits win differential against Reigns across 14 years of rivalry, is the only number Roman can't erase, walked into that ring and told the tribal chief that winning a match against him is the one thing missing from his Hall of Fame resume. Roman accepted, and said something as the show was going off-air that wasn't meant for the microphone. As he walked up that ramp, the tribal chief was overheard saying SummerSlam. We closed the door on the Shield. That's not a champion who's concerned about Seth Rollins. Roman has faced Rollins before, beaten him before, knows his tendencies, his patterns, his psychology after 14 years of proximity. Oba Femi is the unknown. And Roman Reigns just got 4 more weeks to study him before Femi inevitably comes knocking. Roman Reigns watched Oba Femi get crowned King of the Ring in Riyadh, sat backstage in silence while his family argued around him, heard Femi say the championship will always be there, and quietly understood what that statement really meant. The king isn't coming for him at SummerSlam, but the king will come eventually. Roman gets Seth Rollins in Minneapolis. He gets to close the Shield chapter. He gets the comfortable opponent, the familiar enemy he's already mapped out in full detail. And then after SummerSlam, whenever Femi is ready, the tribal chief will have nowhere left to run. Drop it in the comments. Does Roman Reigns secretly want to face Oba Femi before his title reign ends? Or is he genuinely relieved that the most dangerous man in WWE chose Brock Lesnar instead of him? Subscribe to Wrestling Cannva. Roman is still the most powerful man in WWE. But for the first time in years, he's the one watching someone else make the decisions. The king didn't come for him. Not yet. But eventually, the king always collects.